It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da, Hello there, and welcome to my holiday ritual. It begins with the early Christmas specials and ends with Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve, which I watch by myself, alone with my glass of eggnog right here. Now, you ever notice how characters on Christmas specials have no family? I mean, Rudolph, loner. Charlie Brown has an entire party without his parents, and those elves may have a social never going. But rarely do you ever see them with their family. Now, I'm sure they all have families. It's implied, and I guess that's why I watch them each Christmas. You know, people assume that I have a family. It's implied. Jane Howard once stated, "Call it a clan, call it a tribe, call it a network, call it a family. Whatever it is and whoever you are, you need one." Such is the case with Peter Englehart. After his entire family turned their back on him, he celebrates Christmas alone, watching programs with characters in them that he can relate to reach a sort of salvation. In this story, we see a sense of fear, his anger, but most of all, hope. Looking a lot like Christmas by Jason Sheets. So, how did I end up this way? One word. Homosexuality. Or, as my sister put it in 3 words, that queer thing. You know, for a good 20 years or so, I was the straightest man in Wichita. Now, obviously there were the hints, like, when my friends and I had sleepover parties, we would sneak a look at Playboy, and everyone else would be mesmerized. They'd say, "Whoa!" So I'd say, but I never really understood what all the wooing was about. And around the time that Die Hard was big, all the other guys liked it when Bruce Willis kicked some ass. Well, I liked the ass kicking when it required him ripping off his shirt, so the thoughts were there. But that's all they were. Thoughts. Now, in college, I hit it, my sexuality. I was too busy. There was always something else. A paper, a party, an intramural basketball game. Anything but the topic of romance. Anything but a blind date. Anything but addressing my weird fascination to my fraternity brother. Anything but that. But then I met someone. And not just anyone, the someone that you always dreamed about. In my first year at the office, Tom had asked me out for some drinks, and I didn't think it was a date, and maybe it wasn't at first. But as the seasons changed from autumn to winter to spring, I knew. And when he told me he loved me, I had no problem loving him back. Well, one problem. Family. Actually, no, 2 subsets of the same problem, okay? One, I've always wanted a family, okay? Call me short-sighted, but just as I knew I was gay, I also pictured myself with the standard wife, dogs, kids, picket fence, you know the routine. Tom and I weren't exactly Family Channel material. And 2, my family would be stunned, okay? They'd call a priest, a therapist, and my old high school prom date simultaneously and plot a conversion. It would be hell. So, when I finally got out the strength to tell my family, almost 3 years later, I decided to do it in style. Christmas dinner. Well, everything started out as normal. Mom was fixing the potatoes and ham. Dad said grace. My sisters complained about the fat content. I was ready. Okay, everyone, I just wanted to tell you something. I know you all have said that I should start dating more, and I just wanted to tell you that, well, I found someone. Well, actually, we've been dating for almost 3 years now. why haven't I told you about her? Well, his name is Tom. Stop, reframe, backtrack a little bit. Okay. You know how you learn in science class that at 0 degrees Kelvin, all motion ceases? 0 degrees Kelvin, right there at the dinner table. Dad gives me this look like he should have played more football with me when I was a kid. Mom just stares into his face, and my sisters give me this look like I just stole their boyfriends or something. Then everything starts happening in slow motion. My aunt drops her fork in her soup. My dad says, "This is no time for sick jokes." And my mom says, "Yes, it's Christmas." And Grandma asks, "Is Tom short for Thomasina?" And Grandpa just gets up and leaves. Well, dinner continues. Voiceless, silent yet speaking volumes. After dinner, I talked to my dad in the living room, and he's always been the spokesperson of the family. Surely he would be it for this too. Hi, Dad. Son, you've really pulled the rug out from under me this time. I mean, what do you want me to say, that I'm happy? Because I'm not. You have chosen a difficult lifestyle. I know, it is not a choice, but who's to say? Because my Bible says that it is. And now you have forced a choice on me. I can either accept you and reject my Bible, or accept my Bible and reject you. Damn it, do you understand the decision that you are forcing upon this family? I never imagined the horrors of that night. My entire family turning their back on me. My dad taught me one thing above everything else. To never turn your back on the Bible. And that is exactly what he chose to do that night. Follow that damn rule. And my dad turning his back on me meant my entire family turning their back on me as well. There was only one person who hadn't turned his back on me. Yet. 3 weeks later, Tom had told me he didn't envision a future for us. And he did so on a note. So my entire life, my entire future are reduced to a post-it? We have meetings to make us feel like we are not alone, but we are alone. And often reduced to 2 emotions. Numbness and rage. Numbness, rage, eggnog, Christmas specials, no family to marry into, and no way to recreate the old one. People assume that I have a family. It's implied.